What stands out to you from the first few games?
How hard it is to watch 14 hours of football nearing 40 years old. I think it's like it's an age thing, just like when you play in the league. It's like every year, like, man, this gets harder and harder. I was wiped after last night, especially we got free football last night. I guess for me, we learned a lot in the first two primetime games, and as much as you can in week one, because you had two, three, four of the best teams in the league playing, and everybody's holding their breath and they're waiting to see the Bengals play for one. And they lay an egg. I just got done watching that tape, and I don't want to make it all about the Bengals. They always start slow, that sort of thing. It's not like Baltimore looked great the other night, although they lost to Kansas City, which is a much different thing. The Bengals start slow. They didn't look great at times. More than anything, New England just had a great game plan and stuck to it. And I think Gerard Mayo deserves a ton of credit. Alex Van Pelt, like the whole group. It wasn't rocket science, but they didn't outsmart themselves. I mean, they got in 13 personnel, with three tight ends in there, one of those being a big tackle that they'd put in as a big tight end, right? So they're just trying to collapse the edge down and make those guys tackle on the edge, the Cincinnati guys. And I don't mean the defensive line. I mean guys like Hill. And they just kept giving the ball to Stevenson. And in situations, they go empty. They get their matchups in man. They run little in cuts. And it was just they didn't get bored doing the simple things. And that's very New England. It really is. And I think Gerard Mayo is going to be a heck of a coach. Proud of him. Draft class of 2008, Virginia native. Just a tremendous guy. And you can see them as they kind of let them in post game. You would think you were in like somebody's sarcophagus. Like it was like such a rare look into something. They were like, oh my God, let's go to the Patriots locker room. You know what I mean, Rich?
Yeah.
They were nuts. And it didn't disappoint because Gerard Mayo seems authentically him, and it seems like those players really have his back. It was just great. And the offense didn't perform well for the Bengals, but they're also missing T. Higgins. They're adjusting to a new back in the backfield. Gesicki seems to be like he's going to be an exciting target for him. Listen, if they tie that game 7-7 on that Gesicki ball, which was beautiful, they also had Irwin on a crosser. The play before Duggar got depth, kind of closed that window. The play that everybody's going to remember is the Tanner Hudson play. The very next play after that Gesicki ball that just came incomplete. Duggar's also there to force that. And I can't talk about the Patriots defense without talking about Keon White, a guy I've been really high on for 2 years. He looked like the best player on the field.
So when it's all said and done, because usually we wait until like weeks 2, 3, or 4 if we get you to do the levels of concern for Chris Long, you would put the Bengals in terms of level of concern below the Raiders, maybe, or a team?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like, relative to the expectations, maybe there's concern, but, with the history and context, like who the Bengals have been early in seasons, this is Joe's first full preseason. I thought he might look a little better, but he's still coming off that injury. The Raiders, I don't expect too much out of them this year. You know what I mean? The defense is going to be stingy, but the quarterback play is the quarterback play, not to be dismissive of Gardner Minshew. I think he's a lot of fun to watch, but it's not like he's surrounded by a whole lot. Other than number one and maybe 2 exciting tight ends, which is enough for some very good quarterbacks, but I don't know.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.